What's up, it's Cinema Shogun here, and ever since it was announced that Gabby Petito's parents were suing the parents of Brian Laundrie, I have been sitting here just patiently waiting for an update, and it looks like we finally have one, folks. A jury trial has been ordered and scheduled for the lawsuit filed by the parents of Gabby Petito against the parents of Brian Laundrie. This is amazing news. Amazing news. Just think of that. A jury trial in which we get to see Gabby Petito's parents go up against the parents of Brian Laundrie. This is just going to be insane. It's going to be insane. The suit filed by Joe Petito and Nicole Schmidt last month claims Laundrie's parents knew all along their son murdered 22-year-old Petito. The attorney for Chris and Roberta Laundrie has already filed a motion to dismiss the lawsuit, calling it baseless. So before we get too excited, there's still a possibility that this lawsuit gets thrown out. But as of right now, it looks like we're kind of inching forward. The jury trial, if it does happen, won't begin anytime soon. According to court documents, a trial in front of a jury has been set for the week of August 14th, 2023 at the South County Courthouse in Venice, Florida. The trial's term window doesn't begin until next year due to scheduling in the Sarasota County court system. So, whoa. If this does happen, which fingers crossed it does happen, we got a while to go, folks. We have a while to go. I'm interested in how interested everyone will still be in this case on August 14th, 2023. I made it clear since the beginning. I am here for the entire journey. I am here until this story is over, until everyone gets whatever closure they need. And if we ever get any more updates, I'm here for them. I'm going to be here for this trial if it does happen. But I'm interested in finding out. I guess we won't find out until 2023. How many people who I guess were interested in the story are still going to be staying tuned for what happens. The jury trial, barring dismissal, is expected to be open to the public, which could draw international media attention. So this is going to be open to the public. You know what? I don't want to make any promises. I don't want to make any promises right here, right now. Because August 14th, 2023, that's a long ways away. But, if things go right and if everything is going right in my life, I might just show up here. If it's going to be open to the public, I might just show up here. If you would like me to do that, let me know down in the comments below. We're still like a year out. So we're not sure if this case is even going to happen, but I would be open to possibly, I'm not sure, I don't think I could stay there for the whole trial, but at least go there for a couple of days. That is something that I might be willing to do. It would mark the first time the Petito case reaches a courtroom. And while it would be a civil case instead of a criminal one, it could reveal the highly anticipated evidence Petito and Schmidt claim to have to support their accusations that the Laundries were told their son murdered Gabby Petito and sought to help him flee the United States. While a date has been set, the case still faces the possibility of being dismissed after the Laundrie's attorney filed the motion for dismissal on the grounds their clients exercised their constitutional right to refrain from speaking and have continuously relied on counsel to speak for them. So I think, honestly, and I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy here, I think there is a good possibility that this gets thrown out. But I'm hoping it doesn't. You know, I think it's 50-50 here. A 50% chance it goes forward and a 50% chance it gets thrown out. And we're just going to have to wait and see. Judge Hunter W. Carroll responded to the motion for the lawsuit's dismissal by allowing the attorneys for Petito and Schmidt 20 days to file an amended complaint he says was necessary due to a perceived procedural deficiency in the lawsuit. To be clear, the court in today's order is not passing on defendants' arguments that this lawsuit should be dismissed with prejudice, Carroll wrote in his response. The court's intent is to address the perceived procedural deficiency before addressing the merits of defendant's motion. Pat Riley, the attorney for Petito and Schmidt, says he is preparing to file the amended complaint to state separate causes of action on behalf of the Petito family against the Laundries. A ruling on whether the lawsuit will be dismissed is expected after Judge Carroll reviews the revisions. Stephen Two Tex Bertolino, the Laundrie's attorney in New York, tells WFLA his clients will seek dismissal regardless of the charges made to the amended complaint. So regardless, the Laundries are still going to try to get this dismissed. And I mean, that's a no-brainer. We already know that's the route they're going. And I'm hoping that it doesn't get dismissed. I want them to have to be there. I want them to have to face the Petitos. Petito and Schmidt are suing on the grounds of intentional infliction of emotional distress, alleging that the Laundries were told by their son of Petito's murder on or about August 28th. And rather than to tell them of Gabby's death, they chose to remain silent. The lawsuit accuses the Laundrie family of acting with malice or great indifference to the rights of the Petito's family. Petito and Smith are seeking damages of at least $100,000, stating that they suffered pain and mental anguish as a result of the willfulness and maliciousness of the Laundries. The Laundries, through their legal team, have repeatedly denied any wrongdoing. The big question that looms ahead of potential jury trial is the evidence Petito and Schmidt claim to have to back up claims made in the lawsuit. They'll just have to wait and see, said Riley when asked about the evidence. If we didn't believe it was true, we wouldn't have put them in the complaint. So they're saying that everyone's just going to have to wait and see what type of evidence they have. And man, oh man, I'm hoping we get to see that. And I'm thinking that if this trial gets thrown out, we may never get to look at that evidence. We may never know all of this information that the Petitos supposedly have on the Laundries and on Brian Laundrie. So in order for us to really get all the information that we wanted out of this case, we're going to need this trial to happen. We're going to need the trial to happen. And like I just stated earlier, if it does happen, and if it is indeed open to the public, I will possibly make a trip down there, and I will be there for a couple of days of the trial. Hopefully I can get some insider information while I'm down there. Who knows? But that's something that I am willing to do. And I think that would be pretty cool for the channel, and I'm sure you all would enjoy that as well. But for right now, we all have to keep our fingers crossed that this doesn't get dismissed. Because this is like the best case scenario for us right now. If this goes through. If this goes through, this is the best case scenario we could have possibly hoped for. It means that they're at least taking this seriously. Yes, we will have to wait all the way until 2023, which sucks. But it should be open to the public. There will be cameras there. It will be, I'm sure, live on Court TV or whoever chooses to pick it up. And I will possibly be there. So that would be cool. And I think finally that will give us some closure, although I'm worried about Gabby Petito's parents. Because I've lost plenty of people close to me. And I know about the healing process. I know about the grieving process. And we all handle things differently. Me, I'm the type of person that I like to shove some of like the hurt and pain of losing people into like the back of my head. And I like to just keep going. I like to just keep going, try to keep my mind as occupied as possible, because life is hard sometimes. And like I've stated before, one of the biggest things I had to learn in life was learning to accept what you can't control. And I just feel like this may reopen up a lot of wounds for them don't get me wrong, you're never going to get over losing your daughter, especially in a tragic way, the way they lost Gabby. But, you know, this child being so far away, it's just like they're just going to have to reopen all of those wounds that aren't even healed yet, you know? So I think it's going to be tough on them. And it will be tough on the Laundries as well, because even though we don't agree with what they did, even though we don't like them, they still lost their son as well. So I think it will be, this lawsuit will be extremely painful for both sides, honestly. So I'm definitely concerned about that. But I want to know your thoughts down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you on the next video.